Hello everyone, welcome to the KZGN News. Today we'll bring you news from the Supreme Court, news from the Ridgecrest Police Department, election news, news of an Easter egg hunt Saturday, today's KZGN Talking Points editorial, weather, sports, and much more.
From the Rademacher Hills to Bee Mountain and the mighty Sierras, Ridgecrest to Inyokern and China Lake, this is your news for the Indian Wells Valley with the KZGN News crew.
Hello, I'm Tom Whitnick. Thanks for joining us for the news affecting Ridgecrest and the Indian Wells Valley. From Washington, we report that the Supreme Court heard arguments on Wednesday in a case about access to contraception and religious liberty. Here's a look at the parties and the issues in the case. The parties are about 30 religiously affiliated organizations, including schools and hospitals. The most prominent one may be the Little Sisters of the Poor, an order of nuns based in Baltimore that operates nursing homes around the country. But the lead plaintiff in the 7 consolidated petitions the Supreme Court has agreed to hear is the Roman Catholic Bishop of Pittsburgh, David Zubik. The plaintiffs object to a regulation under the Affordable Care Act that requires many employers to provide free insurance coverage for contraception to their female workers. Some plaintiffs say paying for any kind of contraception violates their religious beliefs. Others object to covering uterine devices and so-called morning-after pills, saying they are akin to abortion. Many scientists and pro-women's rights group active advocates disagree. The government has offered religiously affiliated groups an accommodation that it says allows them to opt out of the coverage requirement, shifting the cost of the coverage to others. But the challengers say the accommodation, which requires them to object and provide information about their insurance plans, also forces them to violate their religious beliefs. 2 lower appellate courts have issued conflicting decisions. The United States Court for Appeals at the District of Columbia Circuit ruled against the plaintiffs. The 8th Circuit in St. Louis disagreed, saying, in light of the challenges, sincerely held religious beliefs, the court said, we conclude that compelling their participation in the accommodation process by threat of severe monetary penalty is a substantial burden on their exercise of religion. The only decision made by the Supreme Court that has some effect on the case was back in 2014. In that case, on a 5-4 vote, with Justice Antonin Scalia in the majority, the court said that family-owned corporations operated on religious principles did not have to pay for insurance coverage for contraception. The court seemed to say that the accommodation at issue in Wednesday's case was a preferable alternative to forcing objecting employers to pay for coverage or face fines. So the court heard the case with just 8 judges. They could decide not to rule on the case until a 9th judge is appointed, or they could rule with a tie vote, leaving the ruling to go through another round of litigation. It is likely that the court will probably not make a ruling, but delay the ruling if it appears there will be an evenly split court. Most court watchers see this as a first step in making the appointment of the Supreme Court judges as a campaign issue. In news from the Ridgecrest Police Department, we get a report of a possible assault with a deadly weapon call that came in yesterday. The location was in the 200 block of Robalo. The Ridgecrest Police and the Kern County Sheriffs responded with a heavy presence to handle the call, a call that turned out to not be true. After a search of the residence, they determined the call to be false. The person they had taken into custody was released. The report of assault with a deadly weapon was unfounded. The man had received a minor accidental wound from a replica firearm capable of only firing blank ammunition. Hey, have you heard this Sunday is Easter Sunday? Well, the Easter Bunny's coming. This Saturday, the RCA Church will hold a community Easter egg hunt at the Desert Empire Fairgrounds. The Easter egg hunt gates will open at 9 a.m., and the hunt will start promptly at 9:30 a.m. Admission and parking is free. There will be hunts every 15 minutes in set age groups. The hunt times are as follows based on ages. 0 to 2-year-olds will start at 9:30. 3 and 4-year-olds will go at 9:45. 5 and 6-year-olds will start at 10. 7 to 9-year-olds will start at 10:15. 10 to 12-year-olds will start at 10:30. 12 to 15-year-olds will start at 10:45. There will also be a special needs egg hunt in a separate area starting at 10 a.m. I guarantee you, do not show up late. Your kids will miss out on their hunt. These hunts go very quick. Every year, some parents show up late with their kids, only to find they missed their hunt time, and the kids go away suffering. So parents, don't do this to your kids. Get there early so your kids can enjoy the hunt. There will also be other activities like bounce houses, wall climbing, and face painting. So go on out for some Easter fun. Again, that's this Saturday at the Desert Empire Fairgrounds. And then we have the continuing saga of the Stop Trump movement. Seems someone new is coming up almost daily with a new strategy to try and stop Trump. And the whole pretext for the effort is they don't believe he's a true conservative. The problem? Each one of these supposed conservatives have a different view of what a true conservative is. And they think that he has just changed his position recently to win the nomination. Yet videos of him making some generally conservative interviews over 15 years ago have recently been circulating on the internet. These opponents continue to carry on against Trump. The current CNN national poll shows Trump at 47% Republican support, to Cruz with 31% of Republican support, and Kasich at 12%. The truth is, these opponents really don't want any of these three candidates. Each opponent group has a candidate they want to win. And if they don't get their way, they're going to do a temper tantrum. Then comes Trump going to Washington to meet with party people, trying to bring the party together. Who knows how this will all turn out? In local news, we get the announcement that the 21st Annual Respect for Law Recognition Dinner is this Friday. The dinner is to recognize local law enforcement officers from every department that services Ridgecrest and the Valley. They'll be honoring officers of the year from the following agencies: Ridgecrest Police Department, Kern County Sheriff, China Lake Police, and the California Highway Patrol. The dinner is hosted by a group of local clubs. They are the Footprinters, Rotary Club, Lions Club, Elks Lodge, Optimist Club, Kiwanis Club, Women's Center, Knights of Columbus, and the American Legion. The dinner will be at 5:30 p.m. at the Elks Lodge on Church Street. It'll be right here in Ridgecrest. Tickets can be purchased from any of the host organizations. The tickets are $18 per person and must be purchased in advance. No tickets will be sold at the door. Advance sales are necessary to allow the caterer to order the right amount of food. A no-host bar will also be available. For more information, contact Jan Bennett at 760-382-4488 or email her at skipandjan@gmail.com. Again, the dinner is this Friday, 5:30 p.m. at the Elks Lodge. There will be no tickets sold at the door. Now stay with us. After the break, we'll have the 129th KZGN News Talking Points editorial. Thanks for staying with us. Now it's time for the 129th KZGN News Talking Points editorial. Here's today's topic. Will the Republican establishment go too far to circumvent the will of the people? So, this one is for the critics out there that have said many times that I never attack the Republicans. For the most part, that is pretty true. However, I have always drawn the line when there are legal issues at the core of an issue. So, when we have laws, the law should be followed. And I'll attack any party if they try and circumvent the law. Now to today's topic. Will the Republican establishment go too far to circumvent the will of the people? Well, what is funny now is that some Washington insiders are declaring they don't even know who these people are, this supposed establishment. They laugh and say there are maybe about 6 guys that sit in a dark room and try and figure out the strategy for the Republicans. Well, that may or may not be true. However, it's clear some group or segment of the party have linked up to try and block Trump. Anyway, here's the bottom line. Once the people have voted, the will of the people better not be discarded as not valuable. Now, I don't care who wins the Republican nomination. There better not be any effort to block the leader if there is a clear number advantage by one candidate over the others. I don't even care if Kasich had the highest number, but still fell short by 100 delegates. If he is the clear top delegate getting in the primary election cycle, then it should be him. If whoever has orchestrated this anti-Trump, stop Trump at any cost campaign tries to overrule the people's votes, then there will be a huge backlash. There is no group of voters that treasures the vote of the people more than conservatives. Even if the winner isn't the one you or I may want, the voted winner is the winner, not to be usurped by any group. If these controllers of the campaign, like Romney, think it's bad now, wait till they see what happens if they usurp the vote of the people. While I doubt there will be riots in the streets, the people will be so mad that I don't know how bad it will get. But one thing is for sure. Just as these establishment people think Trump will destroy the party, they are just as guilty. Their anti-Trump effort will destroy the party. And if they decline Trump the nomination and even maybe pass over Cruz too and nominate someone else, all heck will break loose. To these establishment people, just who the heck do you think you are? Who died and left you king? How dare you plot to circumvent the will of the people? How dare you be so pompous to blame the destruction of the party on Trump when you are doing it? You say you understand the anger in the Trump and Cruz anti-establishment supporters. I say this, and be real clear. You guys have no idea how mad their supporters are. They are furious with the last 7 years of Obama. They are furious with Republicans doing very little to stop him. They are furious with courts making decisions as political activists. And there is probably the biggest issue for the campaign, and hardly anyone is talking about it. It's Supreme Court appointments. Supreme Court appointments go for life. If the Democrats are allowed to appoint a liberal activist judge, the court will swing the liberal direction. Of course, liberals are drooling from their mouths to get that control. No matter what, Republicans have got to get behind the candidate that wins the vote of the people. We need to unite, just like the Democrats will. There is no talk, threat of a third-party run anymore from their side. They know they have to get behind their winner. For the establishment Republicans to be threatened, a third-party run with their hand-picked candidate will guarantee a Democrat win in November. And they know this, but still, they are so obsessed with stopping Trump at any cost, they are willing to allow the Democrats an easy win. Are they so pompous to think that if they run their hand-picked guy as a third party, that everyone will leave the candidate nominated by the people? Talk about elitist attitudes. Man, the party needs to unite behind whoever the people nominate. Stop this nonsense of stop Trump at any cost. Enough is enough already. A healthy debate on the issues during the campaign is great. Let the candidate win that rings best with the people. All this turmoil is not good. Knock it off already. And if everyone would stop all this negativity, we the people will benefit. The people's vote should rule. And if we lose the election, then we are to blame for putting up the wrong candidate. But if the establishment denies the will of the people by rigging the convention to get their hand-picked guy nominated, or they just run a third-party candidate to stop who the people chose, then they will be the ones that destroy the party. They will be the ones that had the election handed to the Democrats. They will be the ones that allow liberal Supreme Court judges to be appointed to the Supreme Court. There is no bigger reason to unite than because of court appointments. There are a lot of important issues we face as a country, but none as important as having Supreme Court judges that believe the Constitution should be interpreted as the Founding Fathers prescribed, not judges that believe the Constitution is only a base document that should be viewed only as a guideline for changing society, that is only a living document that is sometimes outdated and doesn't fit the current country. Well, if the Constitution is not what liberals want, then change the Constitution. Don't circumvent the law for your whims of what you think our country should be. There is a process to change the Constitution. Use that process. So, attention to all Washington Republicans. Get over yourselves. Get over that you are not in control of this election. Get over the fact that the people do know what they want in their next nominee. The people are more angry than you even know. You are so out of touch with how angry we are. You even now hearing our anger, seeing our anger in our voting, you even now think you know better than we do. You know what is best for us. That is elitism at its worst. Well, you don't know what is best for us. We've been telling you, and you have been promising for years to build a wall on our southern border. Have you done it? No. We've been yelling for you to do something about illegal immigration. What have you done? We've been yelling to get the government off our small businesses. Instead, you let Obama pass laws, issue executive orders and policies that hurt us. So, establishment Republicans, whoever you are, knock it off. Stop this dangerous game you're playing with our lives. So, for those of my readers and viewers, do you now say I'll never criticize the Republicans? Well, eat your hat. Like I've always said, I don't care what party it is. If they are not acting in accordance with the will of the people or following the laws we have, then I'll criticize them, no matter what party they are. In conclusion, attention all Republicans, it's time to stop this party-splitting conduct. Let the people choose their nominee. And if the people's choice is just a few delegates short, but still has a major lead over the second-place candidate, then the top vote-getter should get the nomination. Warning to the establishment, do not attempt to step on the will of the people. I'm Tom Whitnick, and that's what I think. I'd like to know what you think. If you have any comments about this editorial or would like to discuss or recommend a topic, I'd like to hear from you. Please email them to info@kzgn.net. Now stay with us. Coming up next, we'll have weather and sports. Thanks for staying with us. Now here's Lane with the weather.
Thank you, Tom. From the National Weather Service, a spring storm system will continue moving northeast into the Midwest on Thursday. Heavy snow is forecast from the Central Plains to the upper Midwest, where up to a foot of snow is possible. Meanwhile, severe thunderstorms with a few tornadoes, wind damage, and isolated large hail will be possible on Thursday across parts of the Tennessee Valley and central Gulf Coast states. Temperatures across the nation. Carolinas at 71, Georgia at 72, Arkansas at 52, northern Texas at 53, Arizona at 71, and Los Angeles at 74. And for us locally, tonight, mostly clear with a low around 46, south-southeast wind 5 miles per hour. Friday, sunny with a high near 79, southwest wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday night, mostly clear with a low around 47, south wind 5 miles per hour. Saturday, sunny with a high near 74, northeast wind 10 to 15 miles per hour with gusts as high as 20. Saturday night, clear with a low around 44, east wind 5 miles per hour. Sunday, mostly sunny with a high near 80, northwest wind 5 miles per hour. Sunday night, partly cloudy with a low around 50, west-southwest wind 10 miles per hour with gusts as high as 15. And Monday, mostly sunny with a high near 70, west-southwest wind 10 to 15 miles per hour with gusts as high as 30. And that is your forecast for the IWV. Now back to Tom.
Thanks, Lane. Now here's Tom back with sports.
And a very pleasant Thursday afternoon to everyone. Let's start with Saracoso baseball. The Coyotes dropped a tough 11-1 decision Tuesday against San Bernardino. They're on the road today. They will play San Bernardino back home on Saturday. That game will be at noon on 12:40 a.m. If you can't come on out, tune in. If you can, bring a little lawn chair or a blanket. Come sit on the slope and watch some great college baseball. Saracoso and San Bernardino this coming Saturday at noon. All right, the 5th grade basketball league started on Wednesday night, and some really good games we had in the boys division. Pierce has a win over Richmond. Las Flores beats Fowler in a very tight game. Gateway over St. Anne, and Charter defeats Inyokern. Those are the boys' scores. For the girls, Pierce beats Richmond. Las Flores and Fowler play to a 16-8 Fowler win. Gateway over St. Anne's, and Charter beats Inyokern. They'll play every Wednesday through the month of April, culminating with the tournament at the end. All right, NCAA, who can get away from March Madness? Got some big games coming up Thursday and Friday, Kansas and Maryland. One of those, Kansas, the #1 favorite in that South region. Miami and Villanova will play. Oregon and Duke, that'll be a very interesting game. That's at Anaheim in the Western Regional. Texas A&M will play Oklahoma. A&M has 9 lives. Northern Iowa had a 12-point lead against them and blew it. North Carolina will play Indiana in the East over in Philadelphia. Notre Dame also against Wisconsin. Notre Dame and Wisconsin won their games at the buzzer. All right, Virginia will play Iowa State. That'll be in the Midwest Division in Chicago. And Gonzaga and Syracuse, probably a couple teams we really didn't think might even be in the tournament, got in. Not only got in, but both teams won. Syracuse had a very tough start this season, and they've rebounded. Didn't know if they'd make the tournament. They did, and had a couple of nice wins in this 2016 tournament. That would be your sports for this Thursday. Don't forget, if you love basketball, NCAA tournament, we'll talk a little bit about the NIT tournament coming up on Friday. NIT, the National Invitation Tournament, that will be held in New York City, the Final Four. Some good basketball there also. I'm Tom Heck for KZGN. Have a very pleasant afternoon.
So that's the news for today. Also, KZGN-TV know you have a choice in what you watch for your news. We all thank you for choosing KZGN-TV, Ridgecrest's only locally owned community TV station. Now stay tuned for Ridgecrest Talk, coming up next.